What's up, guys? ULagBro here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're going to bring you a little bit different content today. We're going to bring you some tips and tricks and also some setups that I like to use in each of the classes. So I hope you enjoy this content. Alright guys, so first we're going to start over here at the Mage. We're going to go into the Loadout section. We're going to look at the loadout that I prefer to use. It's going to be unique and different to everybody, but this is kind of my thought process behind this. So check it out and see what you think. So under the ability, I like to use the Creeping Gale. It is the Soul Gust now reveals your enemies for 3.5 seconds. So when you throw that Soul Gust, it will also reveal them through walls so that you can see where they are. If they're hiding behind a rock or a tree or in a house, you can figure out where they are and kind of get your strategy down to where you want to go. Next, I go with the weapon. I use the Strength of Stone. I like to use the Stone Staff. It deals 300 bonus damage if all 3 shots connect, so you want to make sure that you get pinpoint accuracy and hit them every time. Over here in the movement, I like to use the Feedback Loop, so activating Soar or Ghost Walk reduces the cooldown of your basic ability by 3 seconds. So if you have a Soul Gust and you use the Ghost Walk or the Soar, it will actually reduce that cooldown on your Soul Gust by 3 seconds. So you combine that with some of the runes that you can get, and you can actually get a really fast cooldown on each of those abilities. So I like to use that. Moving down to the bottom, for healing, I like to use Vigor. I increase the maximum health by 300. I know I used to go back and forth between Restoration and Vigor, but I found personally that I like the Vigor. Restoration is definitely a solid way to go, and I played with some high skill players that use that one, where you passively regenerate 10 health per second. So again, a lot of it comes down to choice. So moving on, I have under shards, I use the Bok Bucks, so you get 25 shards for eliminating a chicken. So if you kill a chicken, it does just what it says. It gives you 25 extra shards. That way you get 75 shards instead of 50, and that can be a big advantage in the different stages of the game when you're trying to get enough shards, especially in early game, mid game, when you're trying to get as many shards as possible so you can get to each forge. So that's what I like to use. A lot of people use the alchemy so you can forge the potions 20 seconds faster. That's really great in game. If you get to a forge and you need some armor or health, you can pop into a forge and get those in less than 10 seconds. So it's a good way to go either way, but I prefer the Bok Bucks myself. Moving on, obviously since I have the ability set to the Creeping Gale, I went ahead and matched it up with the Forged Soul Gust, so your first forged ability is guaranteed to be a Soul Gust. I think it just makes sense. Same with the Stone Staff. First forged weapon is guaranteed to be a Stone Staff, so I like to match those up as well. Movement Forge, I used to use the Ghost Walk or the Soar, and obviously those two are my favorite for this class. You typically are going to get one of those two anyway, but to have it be a legendary is what I think the advantage is. So you're going to get either the Ghost Walk or the Soar, but it's going to be of legendary rarity. So it gives you that advantage as well. So I prefer to keep it on the legendary swiftness. Moving over to chicken. This is another one that kind of goes back and forth. I've done a little bit of both. Actually, I've done a little bit of all three. So I currently am using the Healthy Hatchling, returning from being chickened with full health. I think that sometimes gives you an advantage if you are able to escape from a player who's pretty good, and you can come back at full health and you know you're going to have to fight immediately. Then you have an advantage because you're at max health. If you are coming back with only a partial health, the 300 health or whatever it is, then chances are you're going to have to go straight into combat after that. You're probably going to get chickened again pretty quick. So I do like the Unbeakable, the gain 50 health as a chicken. If you combine that with the chicken health rune, and where you get 1,000, so now you're at 1,500 plus what you already start. I mean, that's a solid one. It's hard to kill a chicken when you have that much health. So I do like that one, and I do occasionally jump back and forth on the incubation, where I'm going with the revive 5 seconds faster as a chicken. Depends on kind of what style gameplay I'm playing and what character I'm using. It depends on a lot of different things, so sometimes I'll switch back and forth to that, but my primary go-to is that Healthy Hatchling. And last but not least, I go speed combat training. For speed I use combat training, where you move 15% faster during aim down sight. I've used both of these, the master riding and the combat training, a lot. I also do like the leg day, where you move 10% faster, and if you combine that with the movement ability, then you're pretty quick on your feet, so I do like that as well. But lately I've been using a lot of the combat training, where at least when you're aiming down sights and you have 15% faster speed, you can move from side to side. You can kind of duck and dodge while you're shooting. Now, I only use aim down sight typically when a player or opponent is far away and I need to get that little bit more accuracy. Then I'll aim down sight. Most of the time I'm not aiming down sights, so it only really comes into effect when you are aiming down sights. But if you're getting shot at from a distance, in game you're on a hill, somebody else is on a hill a little bit further away, that you're going to be aiming down sights, but you also need to be able to duck and dodge and weave to get out of the way of their bullets that are flying in at you. So I like that 15% faster during aim down sights personally. I do often go back to the master riding, where I'm moving 10% faster while mounted. I don't see it as a huge advantage, but I do enjoy that one as well. So, and there you have it. That's what I've got. I am fully loaded out on the mastery, so I have all the levels, and that's the loadout that I choose to go with for this specific class, the Mage. So take it for what you like. Hope you enjoy. Alright, so now I am geared up. We're going to go into some gameplay, and I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks using each of the classes. So first we're going to start out with the Mage. This is the skin I'm currently carrying for the Mage, so we'll go in and I'll show you a little bit of what her abilities that we just discussed do. So enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to go through and show you some of the abilities and some of the advantages that you can have by choosing the Mage as your... Just got a fire crossbow out of that chest. Okay.
Epic.
Okay, so I'm going to try to show you a few of the kind of advantages that you get from being the Mage. None of which include getting a fire crossbow out of the first chest. That's just all by luck and circumstance. So let's say you want up here. You can climb up here on top of this, but in the Mage's case you can get there fast by soaring, and you can get to high ground a lot quicker, and that puts you in a position to kind of observe your surroundings, see where people are. This isn't like some of the other games that you might be familiar with. You're not going to take fall damage if you jump off from certain heights, so you don't have to worry about that. So here's something that I think is important for players early in the game. So let's say that they are carrying... So I actually might have to wait for just 1 second. Yeah. Go ahead and heal up here for a second. So you're going to see what I'm talking about with the sword. This is another advantage that you get when you use the sword. So once I get healed up a little bit here, I'm going to let him know that I'm still here. Okay, so he knows. So now I'm going to soar up there. Okay, so I was able to soar up the high ground and get that elimination. So let's say that you're carrying the Soul Gust, right? And you want to carry that.
Repairing armor.
But you're low health, and you see a healing station. You know, don't hesitate. Pick it up, throw it down, let it heal you for a second, and then switch your abilities back. Then you can disenchant, do whatever you want to do. but that will set you up for, you know, being able to use that, getting a little bit more health, that sort of thing. So always use the abilities that are around you to maximize just to maximize what you need. If you need health, if you need, or what your current situation is, I should say.
Epic.
So here's a purple healing station, an epic. If I set this one down, it's going to pretty close to full heal me, and I'm going to go ahead and carry this one so that I can get max health. And that comes in handy a lot because certain points of the game when you might not want to be using all of your armor or health pots, you'll have the ability to use that. It doesn't help with your armor pots, but definitely helps with your health. Alright, here we're going to head to the forge. We're going to use our soar ability to get straight up there. And I'm going to show you that now when I select movement ability, that it's automatically going to give me a legendary rarity item, because that's what we chose. Okay, so here we got the legendary soar. And as you can see there, I also automatically forged the stone staff, which was the guaranteed forge. First forge was going to be a stone staff. In this case, I'm not going to give up the legendary or the fire crossbow or the lightning slug rifle for those, so I'll wait. If I can get a firestone staff, I will definitely keep that one. So another good trick to know, as I set this down here, we'll talk about it. Another good trick to know is that when you are in a combat situation in this area and you have the soar ability, you can take your efforts to high ground and use them up here. You can stay pretty hidden from a lot of people, but you can also see down and get your opponent a lot easier this way as well. So again, you're not going to take fall damage by coming down. There's no blink that can get up this high. There's no other ability that can get up this high. The heroic leap can't get up this high. So this gives you the advantage to get the highest ground possible in this specific area.
Come on, let's ride.
There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Just a few tips and tricks. Kind of show you how I like to carry my loadout and kind of what some of those abilities do and how they can help you throughout the game. So I went on to lose that game in a horrible fashion, so I just went ahead and ended the clip there. But the whole clip was about showing you how I set up the loadout for the Mage class specifically, and then also using her abilities in game and showing you a few of those ideas that you can use when you go into a game and you're in a situation. So I love the soar, I love the weapons, I love everything about the class, the Mage class. So play with it, get used to it, and try it out. So I think you'll really enjoy it too. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, you know what to do. The usual: like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. If you have questions, please hit me up in the comments down below. I'll answer every question. I'd love to hear from you. And stay tuned, because we're going to roll out some more of this. We're going to go over the assassin class, and we'll go over the hunter class as well. Probably skip the warrior, because I don't even have the warrior leveled all the way up yet. I'm not a fan of playing it. I think it serves its purpose. I just don't prefer to play that. So maybe we'll look at that down the road sometime. So anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed it. Jump over to Twitch, twitch.tv/ULagBro. You know where to find me. But have a good night, guys. And hey, happy chicken hunting.